The following video is concerning light therapy using LEDs and examples of it. I'm going to read the claims by a specific company only first. This is as of 2017 using archive.org to make sure I get their claims straight. This company had existed since 2003 and made some claims that sound good. We're going to read them at that time. I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about progress since then, right? Here we go. By 2017, the company had listed 3,000 installations worldwide. That means they sold 3,000 items since 2003. This is a 14-year period of time or so. Let's call it 15 because let's just round it off to that. That means 200 pieces of equipment sold per year. That's your basis for what you're claiming next. Continuous research, ongoing research for novel indications for applications. Are you facilitating that action plan with your vision statement? 30 cosmetic, laser therapy, photochemical, photobiological, and other journal published peer-reviewed studies existed by that point. What was the outcome? Not stated. It said it validated something. What did it validate? Exactly. These studies were of the clinical treatment protocols and claims. But how many of them said you're full of crap? Since 2003 till 2017, FDA-approved indications were given for their product that they're talking about. Remember, there's 3,000 installations. That's 200 per year in a 15-year period of time. And there was 2 studies done. You're a company that's made 3,000 items that may have changed a lot over a 15-year or 14-year period of time, and you're claiming this is dead bang proof because the FDA approved indications, meaning it's okay or it's not against the law, that's what it means, for you to use this stuff to help things. How many of you got acupuncture therapy for various things? The 2 things I know of is I don't care if it's snake oil or not. If it helps a person, I'm good with it. Don't claim to cure cancer with your goddamn product if it doesn't fucking cure cancer. I get really angry about this shit. Don't do that. 2 studies a year over a 15-year period of time. What's the typical study? A study used 128 people and tested to see if it would cause harm. That's not a peer-reviewed study that affirms your medical claims of efficacy to cure whatever. That just means nobody died or went blind. Getting to the point in the first 3 minutes, the studies were, is this product we're putting out a liability issue for our lawyers? I couldn't find any of their studies they cited at the time. I'm sure they do now. I don't give a fuck. You've been in business for over a decade, and you haven't put out a full list of every single study that gave you a positive outcome. You're hiding it? And all it does, when I tracked a couple down. I did. They tried not to have their company name associated, so they used a ghost company. All it said is it won't kill you or make you blind. Guess what some of the other studies did? Showed that you could go blind and could get skin cancer and die from melanoma. Good night, everybody. That's literally the end of the video. Don't trust the people who want your money. Independent studies of light therapy. 128 tested at the end of a bunch of people dropping out because it was a boring study. Using light therapy in the form of being exposed to a light in the room for an hour or 2 each day. Self-reported results. But we have a control group. Did you ask the self-reported results from the control group? Why would we do that? Because they might result in telling you that not using it gave more of an outcome. You don't ignore the control group. You're supposed to pay attention to them. That's why you have one, you fucknut. Why was I surprised? Every study I could look up on this in the past for light therapy, this involves anything from light-emitting diodes to ordinary light bulbs to using specific neon lamps of specific gas colors, as well as conventional ones that are that kind of orange color that we use for indicator lights in the corners of our room, you know, to know that there's a plug plugged in. When you plug in a cable, it has a light that comes on sometimes, see-through knobbing, so you can tell it's live. Well, yeah, they have useful effects. Let's start with seasonal affective disorder. What that means is that if you're not exposed to enough bright light sources or light sources above a certain brightness and maybe color temperature, depending on your upbringing, background, genetics, that sort of thing, you'll start going into hibernation mode because people hibernate during wintertime because that's a thing. Humans do that. Scandinavians have issues because of wintertime. They also have issues during summer, but let's talk about the wintertime shit. So to fight that, you just convince your brain, not that you're in summertime, but that you're in fall and spring. Yes, I just saved you a bunch of trouble. Find out the light frequency groupings where you grew up, where you were born, and where you spent the first 20 years of your life with the first 10. That programs your brain to realize that's summer, spring, fall, winter. Use spring and fall, both. Those are ideal times visually for light frequencies. Or buy $1 bulbs that are full spectrum and be over it, because guess what? They work just fine. A bright overcast day means you put up a bulb and you cover it with one of those light diffusers. Summertime is when you take the diffuser off. So you got spring, summer, fall. For wintertime, pull the bulb out, I guess. But you just use more of a different frequency grouping. Oddly enough, more blue. A full spectrum light in your home will reduce your ability to be physiologically depressed. This isn't clinical depression. Clinical depression is very closely related. This is seasonal affective disorder caused by physiological depression. Your body's going into save energy mode because it thinks it's wintertime, and you're going to die from starvation because the snow's 2 feet thick and the caribou have run away. That's literally what it's based on. So if you work at an office building where you're trapped inside all day and they have those ugly lights, and then you go home and you give yourselves the same environment, but at least the lights are better, it might make things better. Or go out and touch grass. But the point here is that's affecting you because of what you're seeing, not exposure to the skin. Shut up. I know. You're typing furiously. You're probably giving examples that are going to make me cringe. Let's talk about light exposure to the skin. Very similar. You're not a giant optic nerve, but it's kind of like that. Again, some frequencies are better than others. Guess what? It's the same goddamn bulbs. Next, grow lights. Yes, you can go buy the grow light LEDs that are balanced for certain fruits and vegetables. Guess what? They're the same ones that are being used in these masks. No, I'm not kidding, because they made the mistake of giving a close-up picture of one, and I traced it out, and it's a grow light LED on a mask. For growing, in the past, we'd say tomatoes. They're marijuana grow lights, but guess what? They're for growing lots of things. Different plants have different light preferences. You might want to make a plant grow really slowly so it builds up flavor in the food. No, I'm not. This isn't a euphemism for marijuana or whatever. This is actual food. Okay, what about medical treatments for actual problems? Light-activated medical treatments, like putting on a cream and then having it soak into the tissue and then hitting it with a light source, usually after cleaning your face in a specific way, to get antibiotics into the skin without having to drink or chew a bunch of tablets so you don't have to overdose on it. Just medicating the hell out of your face so you can get rid of acne. Some people have acne, and I'm one of them, that's bad enough that it causes systemic infection and can kill you. It will literally kill you. This isn't a joke. If you got acne as bad as you were when you were a kid and you're older and have a heart condition, you'll die dead as hell. It'll kill you. It's a bacterial infection. And the thing is, I've had the recurring infections because I have a genetic predisposition or propensity for getting bacterial infections. Strep, staph, whatever. And I've been threatened with having my leg cut off like 3 times now. Not to mention that it attacked successfully my lower spinal column and caused part of my tailbone to be destroyed. And also, I'm missing my front teeth because it tried to kill me by eating my face. Let me explain this. Bacteria that eats your face and bones. So yeah, I might have a little bit of experience with this. Light therapy was never indicated because modern medications don't use this because they don't work. They just don't work very well. What they found out is some things would make your skin oversensitive. So they started using that to try to trigger specific responses. But it's not as effective as clean your face very deeply with steam. I actually had to do the steam thing. And medicate your face so you don't have it rot off. Unless you're really far gone, they're not going to do any light-triggered anything. Because it's not as effective, and it's only for stuff that won't fucking go away. Usually it's fungal treatment. What about anti-aging? No. No. It's literally just no. The medical activated... Again, are they advertising that you use a prescription medication? No. They're telling you to use fish oil and flower petals? Let me guess, they say there's no side effects. Let me explain this. Any medication that has an effect on you will either A, it only has one effect and it's a positive one, or B, reality comes in, kicks in the door, and you have a side effect. We have no side effects. That's a code word for it does nothing. Yeah, I know. Some of you put in $400 for one of these things and just found out that you could have bought a $10 grow light, put on sunglasses so you don't hurt your eyes, expose yourself to the light, and do the same fucking thing. I just said it. And you're resisting it even though this would save you a fuck ton of money and you wouldn't look like an idiot wearing a scary mask. It's a light you point at your face because it helps. The seasonal affective disorder one, you don't aim it in your eyes, you aim it in the environment. The light is supposed to light up the environment, and that in your brain triggers the responses. Because your brain figures out, oh, that's supposed to be a white sheet of paper, that's a yellow wall, the floor is brown. It figures out all the combinations, and subconsciously you're aware, oh, it's spring or summer or fall. You want spring and fall, not summer lights. My advice. This is physiologically induced depression because during winter, you're hibernating. It just means you're probably partially Scandinavian or some other shit. Or worse, you might be British. But the point is, yes, if you're British, just go ahead. Or it could be worse, you could be Scottish. You just get more rambunctious. Seriously, be Scottish instead of British, please. But you get the idea. All right? That's the brain chemistry and stuff you want to talk about. Fine. That has nothing to do with putting on a face mask that you don't want blasting into your eyes. That's purple. And again, the purple one, yeah, it was the purple ones you saw. All of the colors, purple, pink, everything. Those are different versions of grow lights. They're just reusing grow lights. Do they work? If you have a type of fungal infection I don't remember the name of because it's really long and hard to pronounce, yeah, it'll help grow that. Yes, there are funguses that are triggered by light. They actually partially use photosynthesis or at least respond to it. So, and if you're not aware of it, it will cause your eye to die. Don't do that. So get a goddamn doctor to diagnose that you don't have any bacterial, fungal, or viral infections. Clean your face. Take care of yourself. You'll look better and feel better. Studies. The one study that was just on light therapy, 128 out of a bunch were tested, and they had a control group. They only asked the people who did the therapies that were brand named for the responses. They ignored the control group and didn't use them for the outcome before and after test, which is the whole fucking point of them. That's one of many examples like that. Most of the studies are bullshit. They're peer-reviewed with negative reviews, but people only bring up how many of them? 30 and 15 years, really? Next. You find out what the color is. Ask the company to tell you where they get the LEDs from. If they refuse to tell you, they're using grow lights. Next. I didn't name a not Omni-Man luxury LED source. But if any of your lawyers are watching, I didn't name your company. You're a scammer. You deserve to be outed. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. They're a scam, but if you want to do them, use glow lights and grow lights and lower the intensity.